You know what you need to do, youngster? You need to go door to door, hand out flyers. What you need to do, if I was you, I would get a shop and I put a hair salon in it. That way you get your hair done and your car washed. Hey, young man, you did an awesome job on my car. I'm gonna tell you something. You know where the money's at? You ever think about making your own products?
This intro's gonna be just gonna kill him. Welcome back to the channel. It's Joel and Sal here with details. Today we're talking about toxic business advice. There's a lot of advice out there, especially when you're starting out. A lot of it is very, very bad. Some of it is good, but most of it's bad. Today we're going to try to give you guys a little bit of insight on what we've experienced when we first started out, also on what advice not to take that's pretty much going to do nothing but bad for your business from the get-go. Tune in, listen to this one all the way through. Nothing but good advice here. Most of it is going to be directly coming from our experience and also decisions that we have made. So this is firsthand experience for you guys. We're going to let you know what worked for us, what didn't work for us, and why you should not listen to certain things. Obviously, every situation is going to be different. Every business is different. Every startup is different. Every market is different. But for the most part, this is the stuff that did not work for us. That was either a waste of time or things that we just didn't even pursue because we knew it was just going to be a road to a dead end, a waste of time, a waste of money, a waste of resources, and just detrimental to the business. So the number one toxic business advice that you want to stay away from, guys, especially when you're first starting out, is getting a line of business credit. In this business, you do not need a line of credit. You should not be using any money that is not yours to finance this business. It has so low of a startup cost. You're making a bad and a detrimental business decision by taking any credit out and starting in a hole prior to making any money. So stay away from business credit. And if somebody's telling you you need to establish business credit, they're absolutely wrong in this case. You need to be starting small and working your way up. You start off in a hole, it puts you in a very, very bad situation to get out of. And more than likely, you're probably going to stay in that cycle of debt, and you may have reoccurring revenue, but your profits will never be where you want them to be if you're always in this cycle of debt. Number two, this one is going to be very detrimental to you. This one, our man Gary from Stay Slick said a lot of people were telling him about this one. And this one, Sal has also seen other guys, not only on YouTube, but on Instagram and other forms of social media, talk about this one.
It's been recommended to us that we do away with the business cards. It's 2022, and people no longer use business cards because of the digital world.
Horrible advice. Horrible. Or people are saying that you shouldn't get business cards because it's just a way for people to break away from a conversation. Say, oh, by the way, do you have a card? So if you don't have cards to give, first of all, if you don't have a business card, there's a certain level of professionalism or legitimacy that you're losing from the get-go. Secondly, if you don't have a business card, there's no way for that client to get a hold of you again. Nobody wants to pull out their phone and take your Instagram. Nobody wants to get your Facebook information. Nobody wants to get that information. That's kind of like you're now intruding on their privacy. It's like, okay, you're going to now make me follow somebody I don't want to follow, or someone that I'm not even, most of the stuff that a lot of these guys are posting on their social media shouldn't be on their social media in the first place. So now you're giving them insight on your personal life and things that you shouldn't be doing. So now you're looking very unprofessional. You don't have business cards. Now you're having them go look on your business account, which you don't even have business etiquette on. So horrible advice. And secondly, you don't know if that person wanted your business or not. They may have just been in a rush, like, hey, give me your card, I'll get a hold of you. But if you don't have a card for them, you can guarantee they're not going to call you because they don't have any way to get a hold of you. So whether or not you were kind of on the edge of like, I don't know if I should give this person a card or waste my money printing cards, or if it's a waste of time because they're just trying to, it's a breakaway, it's a reason to break away from a conversation. Oh, give me your card and we'll continue this at a later date. Well, any opportunity that was there, you've just eliminated. So
it's a lead.
Exactly. A lead is a lead, no matter how you got it, whatever. Business cards, I keep business cards on me constantly. During conversation, business cards there, anywhere. People ask us all the time, do you have any business cards that I can leave with me? If you're doing a good job, people want to recommend you. Business cards are the easy. I'm not going to say, oh, well, here's our Instagram. You just tell everybody that wants to get a hold of us to go to our Instagram or our YouTube channel. No, it doesn't work that way. Get business cards. Don't listen to people telling you not to get business cards. Look at the people that have business cards and look at the people that don't have business cards. And you tell me what you want, where you want to be in your business. So thank you, Gary, from Stay Slick for reminding us of that bad advice that you got. And thank you for not taking that advice. So
Next one will be getting that awesome business advice from folks that don't run their own business.
Oh yes. That's like taking financial advice from a broke person. It's in the same category. It's like there's certain things you just don't do. I'm not gonna trust somebody who hasn't been down that road, who doesn't understand the ins and outs of business or have business acumen or have some sort of education in that arena. If somebody has, if I want some advice on marketing, I'm gonna go see somebody who specializes in marketing. I'm not gonna go to a gas station and expect 5-star food. You know what I mean? You don't get your car fixed by the person that does your lawn. You know what I mean? So why would you be taking business advice from somebody who doesn't have a business? They don't understand the logistics. They don't understand the financials. They don't understand. They don't understand the reputation that's being put on the line. They don't understand efficiencies. They don't understand time management. They don't understand. There's a lot of things that they don't understand. If they're operating a business and they're pretty much at the top of the food chain when it comes to that business, even though they don't own it or have a partnership in it, but they're operating it, then you can take advice because they understand how the ins and outs of how a business operates. But as far as somebody who's never ran a business or doesn't own a business, I'd be very skeptical on taking anybody's advice who doesn't understand business.
I guess you could take that advice as what not to do when they tell you advice.
You can learn, but be careful on what advice you do take.
Part of that advice from people that don't own a business, we'll jump into it in detailing. People that aren't familiar with detailing, but the first instinct is to tell you to get another van for more business.
Ooh. Let me put some things in perspective for you guys. Me and Sal, you see the level that we work at. You see the pace that we work at. You see all the work and all the intricacies that we do that other businesses and other detailers don't do. We have not even outgrown our unit. And we're doing a lot of work and we're staying very, very, very busy. We're booked out months. We're not booked out months because we can't get the jobs done or because we're slow. We're booked out because we're in demand. But we are definitely not even thinking about another unit. First of all, that splits us up. So you could drop your time. You could drop your times. The times are going to go way up as far as efficiencies and cost per hour that we're charging ourselves. Also, and when I say cost per hour, I'm not talking on the client's end, which most bad business people do is it's taking me longer, so I'm gonna charge you more. No, we're talking about labor costs and operating costs. That's all gonna go up extremely high. Now we have 2 vans that we got to take care of. If we haven't hit our potential with 1 unit, and we're able to do like 10, 12 cars a day, banging them out fast. I'm talking really fast. We have not outgrown that yet. So it's hard for me to believe that there's guys out there that have 1, 2, 3 vans and they're staying that busy. The idea is to profit, guys. It's not to have more. There's a difference between movement and progress. Just because you're moving a lot, doing a lot of work, doesn't mean that you're making any progress with your business. So let's keep those 2 things separated. So again, on this idea of expansion. Expansion does not mean physical things. It doesn't mean another person. It doesn't mean another.
At least it shouldn't.
It should not. Expansion should be growth within. What are you doing within to grow? We're still dissecting our business and we're still analyzing our business. We're still doing things in our business to ensure that we're tracking, to make sure that our time management is on point. We're making sure that our efficiencies are locked down. We're making sure that our products are doing the right thing they need to be doing. We're making sure that our clients are getting the best experience. All of this ensures that business stays steady and business stays on point and our standards stay at a certain level. Any of that stuff drops off, there's a problem. And guess what? You get another rig, all that stuff is going to be compromised at some point. So if you haven't hit your maximum earning potential, you shouldn't be thinking about expansion, no matter what everybody else is saying. Because yes, it does give you another unit, but it also comes with a whole other set of headaches and a whole other set of finances that you need to consider beforehand. So just for all of you that kind of want to get a good idea of when you need to expand or when you need to get another van, it's not because you're getting too busy. That means you need to work on your time management. You need to work on your skill set. You need to work on your operations, your order of operations. You need to work on your checklist. You need to get those things established, not get another van.
Another hot topic.
And horrible piece of advice.
You need an app of some sort to track what's going on in your business. If you need an app to help you get those things in order, you're going the wrong direction off the top.
Yeah. You're trying to cover up a weakness that your business has through some sort of organization or time management tool that's only going to put more stress on you and more work on you. Yes, there may be things within that kind of help you here and there. It might keep you a little bit more organized or this or that. But again, if you don't have a clear understanding of the basic fundamentals of organization, time management, customer service, follow-up, client retention, if you don't understand those from the get-go, it doesn't matter if you have the best app in the world, you could have the best receptionist in the world, you could have the best whatever in the world. You're not going to do well because all of these things at one point in time are going to need to rely on the backbone of your business, which are those fundamental understandings of a business. So when you think that this app or whatever is going to help you on the back end, it's probably going to hurt you more because you're being reliant on something that's probably not going to be there for a long time. I'm hearing of these apps opening and closing, like grand opening, grand closing. You know what I mean? Like we're seeing a lot of this all over. It's not really a smart move if you're not organized yourself. You know, you should be able to do this, especially if you're starting out. If you're starting out and you can't get the basic information down.
Scheduling.
Come on.
If you're solo, you're doing what? 3 cars to max, 4 cars max. And if you can't handle that information with 4 cars, an app is only going to make you breathe a little 5 more minutes extra.
Yeah, basic customer service, time management, scheduling tools. These are all things that should be part of your understanding prior to starting a business, because those are things that will kill your business if you don't understand them. You shouldn't be paying money for anything that you don't understand. Bottom line. That's my opinion when it comes to business.
All right. You got your detailing going on. Business is going great. And what does everyone say? Oh, reinvest in your business. Woo. There's a right way to do that and a wrong way to do that.
Most people don't even know what that means. Most people telling you
It's just a cliche word.
don't even know what that means. Investing in your business does not always mean money. That's what people assume it is because they hear invest, they think financial. They don't understand what the word invest even means. You want something to come back to you when you're investing. You want some kind of return when you invest. You want a positive return. If it's something that you're doing that's saving you time, that's an investment. If there's something that you do on the forefront that maybe you're not seeing right now, you may not see it for months down the road. And maybe in a couple months, you're starting to see more clients come in. You're like, oh, okay, now I get it. Now that was a smart investment. Now I'm seeing the return on my investment here. For instance, me and Sal has been polishing for about 3.5 months. Slowly. I'm teaching him the very basics, the very fundamentals, really stripped down. I'm not allowing him to do much. But we had a big correction to do the other day. I said, hey, it's go time. Now it's time to do this. He had all those fundamentals down. The past 3 months of what I've invested my time training and developing, this guy knocked it out of the park. He didn't even realize that he already knew how to paint correct. He knew all the fundamentals. He knew everything. And we knocked that thing out super fast. That was a return on my investment. So investments are not always, I got an investment. I'll tell you an example of a bad investment. Going out and spending $2,000 on a huge air compressor, water tank, pressure washer, all of these crazy things without you having any clients. That's a bad investment. Horrible investment. Or just buying a whole rig before you even have a name for your business, or before you have business cards, or before you have any clients. Bad investment.
You have nothing to base off your test trial.
Yes, and there's nothing coming into you. There's nothing, all your funds are going out, nothing's coming in. Yes, you might get those funds later on, but the reason it's a bad investment is because you haven't even tested your waters. You haven't gotten your feet wet. You don't even know if you want to be in this industry. You just think it's going to make you some money right now. You think, I have all this stuff. I'm going to start making money now. That's not the way it works. So there's good investments and there's bad investments. And unfortunately, you have to learn those on your own. But don't listen to people when they say, you got to invest in this because it's going to... When people say, even when I hear the term protect your investment, a car is not an investment. For the small amount of time that COVID hit, cars were an investment, but that was a very small time in history that a new vehicle has ever grown in value opposed to decrease in value. And this time it's already declining. And who knows if we'll see another time in history where that happens again. If you're dealing with a classic car, a valuable car, something like that, yes, that's a completely different case. But I'm talking an everyday driving car. Those are not investments. So every time I hear somebody say, oh, protect your investment. Come on, give me a break. Like, a car's not an investment. A car's a liability. If you don't know the difference between a liability, an asset, and an investment, I think it's time for you to hit those books. Another toxic piece of advice that I learned the hard way, and I know a couple other detailers have also learned the hard way, we've made videos about this, is changing your prices. When you are so stern on your price and there's no wiggle room, there's absolutely no changing in it, that's not always a good thing. Sometimes it is a good thing. I'm not saying every business is different, but I want you guys to understand with these videos, we're just giving a generalization of everything. There's always going to be exceptions to the rule. But for a detailer starting out, for a detailer that's trying to gain traction, for a detailer that's trying to maybe broaden out your service area, for a detailer that's trying to really make a name for themselves and really get attention, get a buzz going in whatever area that they're working in, you may need to do some work that's out of your price range, at a lower price point. But also, I never want anybody to be overworked and underpaid. You need to be able to accommodate people. If somebody only wants the seats shampooed, just shampoo the seats. And early in my career, I was like, oh no, well that's going to cost this much because every interior costs this much. If somebody wants me to, we got clients who are just like, I just want the front part of my car clean, just from the two doors up. Everything in the back seat, don't worry about. Okay, we can do that. And then the next week they want me to do the back, and I price them accordingly. And guess what? Both of them together combined cost more than it would be together. But we came to a compromising price where it felt good for both us and the party getting the vehicle done. So there was no problem there. There was no issue. So guys, don't be afraid to accommodate services based on the work. And if they don't want to pay a certain amount, okay, we can take some services off. We can accommodate you for whatever it is that you want. But also, guys, like I said, don't overwork and get underpaid. Handle your business. You're in control. Do what you got to do. Make those accommodations. Whew, this one.
Now, some of the mistakes that we made from our own advice that we thought we'd just give it a shot.
Yeah.
We heard a lot of things about ads.
Paying for ads. Nothing wrong with ads, but paying for ads, guys. Let me break this down. When you pay for ads, if you pay $500, let's say you pay $500 a month for some ads. Say $500 a month you pay in ads. If you book an additional $500 for that month, you zeroed out. You didn't make any money. You didn't make any extra money. You actually lost money. So this is going to open up some of your guys' eyes. You actually lost money. Why did you lose money? You may say, oh, well, I got an extra $500. No, you zeroed out because you paid $500. So you zeroed that out, plus your labor cost, plus your operating cost, your gas, your cost per ounce for your chemicals that you're using. If you have a second person or third person or a team that you're paying to go do that job, all of that. So you could be $200 in the hole or $100 in the hole, or if you're working with a big team, maybe even more in the hole. So if you're paying for ads, you have to put into the equation the time that you're doing the job and the chemicals that are being used and the gas that you're using. Anything that your business is consuming, that needs to be incorporated into that cost of that ad. So
I guess we did an ad. We got a fairly quick return. When I say return, we put an ad out a day later. We got business from that ad. Right.
Yes.
However, the retention rate on that is 0.
Yes. That's another thing. Your retention rate, there's a dramatic decrease. There's a dramatic decrease in the retention rate from clients that are looking to find you in ads, opposed to somebody who's an organic client or referral. Most of our business is on referral. And I understand some people do need to use the backbone of a Google search engine, things like that. I get it. But when you're running ads, you're going to get a different type of clientele. You're reaching a different audience. So just be prepared for that. If you're willing to deal with that, there's a lot of things that change that we noticed. And we did this in the middle of the summer when we were already booked out. But I said, you know what? I want to do this just to give some information out there. We saw a different type of clientele. We saw a type of clientele that we normally don't see. We had to deal with things that we normally don't deal with. And there was a lot of
unknowns that didn't make it. A lot of uncertainty throughout that detail that didn't make it very pleasing.
Yes, and it wasn't for me. It wasn't worth it. Yes, there was money that we made there, but it wasn't the way that we operate, and it wasn't the type of business that we were looking for. So, and I know not everybody's business is like that, but our type of business, people don't go to Google to look for us. People look, they just go directly to us. They know who to look for, whether it's through a referral, whatever it is, or they're just seeing us work, out in the field. We like that a lot more, and I would encourage you guys to aim for that opposed to paying for ads. I don't want to see anybody paying for ads. I hear guys paying a ridiculous. Like one guy had reached out to me not too long ago. He said, I paid $2,000 in ads a month, and I haven't gotten a job in 3 months. That's just not a smart business decision. That's a horrible business decision. Obviously, it's not working. So I've seen people get ripped off by Yelp, Google Ads, like social media managers, a lot of stuff. So, and again, this is not a blanket statement. This is just for us. We're telling you our experience in it. So we want you guys to, if you're starting out, there's really no need to just to be throwing money out there that you don't have, or that, you don't want any unnecessary expenses on your business. Let's just put it that way. You might as well have a line of business credit if you're going to be doing that, because you're putting yourself in a hole.
Or you might as well just lower your prices, cut them in half.
Yeah. That would be a better option than paying for ads, because you know what I mean. Like, you're zeroing out like a lot of the time. So it's people don't understand that it's a game. When it's a very fine-tuned game that you have to find when you're playing with ads. So and they make it almost like easy now. If you're doing it on Instagram or Google, I'm able to adjust it, this and that, and it feels like a little app, because it is. You're like, I'm only spending this much a day. I'm only spending $10 a day or $25 a day. Trust me, over 2-3 weeks, that stuff adds up, my friend. So especially with Google Ads, a lot, or Yelp, you're paying per click. They could be clicking on you and not paying for you, and you're paying for them. Like it's outrageous.
Shout out to all those detailers that know how to make it work, though.
Yes, because some of you guys get down. Mm-hmm. Another bad piece of advice is to offer services that are outside of detailing, that are kind of in the same spectrum, but that you may not be well versed in. I'll give you a great example. I used to do paint chip repair. Those days, over. I was spending too much time, too much money, and it wasn't worth it. And when there's certain things that people expect when you're providing different services. The reason I stopped doing it is because it took me away from doing the detailing. I was losing money because I'd be working on rock chips for 2-3 hours. You know what I mean? Doing a whole hood of rock chips when I could have been doing a detail, making the same amount of money, finished up at the same time without the headache. Because obviously the more intricate work that you're doing, the more time consuming it's going to be. And also you want to make sure whatever it is that you're doing, you're giving the best possible outcome. So if you have your hands full with tint, PPF, and you don't have a shop. If you have a shop in the manpower, different story here. Again, there's exceptions. But if you're trying to be mobile and you're trying to do PPF, you're trying to do wraps, you're trying to do tint,
change the oil,
you're trying to do details, it's probably not a good idea for you. Perfect one, then you can add on more services to your business. There's nothing wrong with having multiple services at all. Please listen to me when I say this. Don't take offense to it, and don't say that, Joel only said that you can't do this. No, you can, but perfect one of them before you start getting on to the next one. And I would even advise, before you go to the next one, perfect that stuff in a controlled environment on your own stuff. So when you are out there, you're ready to get down, you're ready to do it. You're not going out unprepared.
All right, guys. So there you go, have our toxic, bad business advice. I know there's a lot more worse. There's a way worse business advice out there that I want to hear. So let them know in the comments.
Let's hear what your maybe friends, family, people from the neighborhood.
What that old school uncle told you to
do.
We all want to hear all that.
Trust me, I got some crazy ones out there that I didn't even mention. I'm just talking about the ones that are kind of, a little bit more popular out there amongst our industry itself. But I've seen some crazy ones out there. I've seen people trying to do some wild things. But guys, these will help you prevent headaches. These will prevent financial loss. These will prevent, your reputation being tarnished. These will also prevent, your morale from going down, because if you're making some of these decisions based on what other people think your business should be doing, who don't understand the business, that's a recipe for failure. So I want you guys to all do good. I want you guys to all do well. Slow and steady is always the best. It's the fastest way to get to where you want to be. So, thank you guys again for watching. Remember to leave those comments in here. We want to see the best ones out there. So for Joel and Sal with details, thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.